Hey guys, Dave here from Bam Bam Music. Today I want to talk about, actually it's going to be part of a bigger series on basically resources for bands in particular, also solo musicians and whatnot, but anyone that's actually trying to gig and to sell music and to get fans and that sort of stuff. This is a bit of a series on on that basically, and how to help you guys out, and just with some cool resources, stuff you have to put work into yourself, but it'll make your life a lot easier by using these resources. What I want to talk about today is a couple of tips for resources on selling your music and also merchandise online. So, for example, you've got places like Bandcamp, which is a great resource. You can put all your music on there and all your merch. You can sell vinyls on there. You can sell CDs. You can sell T-shirts, whatever merch you have, as well as all your digital music. And the best part about that I like about Bandcamp is that it's you can put your own prices down. So it's not like when you sell stuff through iTunes and something like that, where the price is automatically set by them. You can actually sell it for whatever you want. So that means you can sell it for cheaper than what iTunes sell it for. Or you can sell it for more. For example, you have a limited run or something, you can actually put a bit of a better price on there and sell it for more. Another really cool feature, which I find that works really well, is you can put say that the buyer actually chooses the price. So you can say pay what you want for this album or this EP or this single or whatever, and then that way the buyer can actually give you what they think it's worth. And 9 times out of 10, they will actually pay more than what you actually want for it, because they're your true fans. Actually do that sort of stuff. They'll actually give you a decent amount of money for it. You might say, I just want to sell this EP for $10, but if you say, give me what you think it's worth, and a lot of people might give you, $15 or $20 even, if they really think it's worth it, because it's a one-off cost to them, and they get your EP for life. So that actually works. The numbers on that actually work really, really well. Some other cool features about that. They only take 15%. I know that sounds like a big number, but when you factor in selling music through other revenues like iTunes and something like that, they take a much bigger cut than that. They take probably about 30%, I believe it is these days. So when you look at it like that, 15% doesn't actually sound that bad. And if you're selling physical CDs and you're worried about making your costs back, just make sure you calculate that into the cost, and you should be fine, as well as shipping and all that sort of stuff. Now, a couple of other big ways to sell your music digitally, not merch. I think you can do merch and stuff through it, but mainly just your digital music. CD Baby is a very good one, and Reverb Nation is also a very good one. They tend to be the two popular ones. There's other ones like TuneCore and some other guys, but my personal preferences are either Reverb Nation or CD Baby. I actually prefer CD Baby at the moment. The reason for that is they've got two slightly different platforms. With Reverb Nation, you pay a yearly fee, which I think is around $50 or $60 per release. So if you have an EP and an album out that year, then that's two fees you have to pay. So if it's $50 per album per release, then you have to pay $100 if you've got two releases. So if you bring out a new album every couple of years, the more albums you add, the more fees you have to pay per year. And if you're not selling much of that, say you released that first album like 6 years ago, if you're not selling much of that album anymore, but you're still paying that $50 every single year. So that cannot work out too good. But the benefit of that system is that they don't take a cut. So every time you sell that album on iTunes or Amazon or Spotify, or someone listens to it on Spotify, they don't take a cut of that revenue. So it sounds like it's a good idea because they're not taking a cut, but don't forget you're paying yearly fee for that release regardless of whether you sell any of those albums or not. So that can be a bit tricky. And then if you take it off Reverb Nation, then it comes off iTunes and it comes off Spotify and it comes off all those guys that it's on because of Reverb Nation. With CD Baby, they take a cut per sale, which when you're first signing up, it sounds like, I don't want them to take a cut of every single album that I sell or single that I sell. But it's actually a better way to do it, in my opinion. But obviously it depends on your band. In my opinion, it's a better way of doing it because you're not paying that yearly fee regardless of whether no one's buying that album anymore. If you've got an old album, probably no one's going to buy it, especially if you're a small band. So that way you're not paying that fee all the time. You just take a small cut every single time you sell something. That way you're only making money. You've got no chance of not making money. If you don't sell anything, they don't take a cut, so you don't pay any money. So in the long run, I feel like the CD Baby formula is the better way to go. But obviously it depends on your band. If you're selling a lot of albums and you can justify that $50 a year, then you can make a much more profit because you're only paying $50 a year as opposed to CD Baby's cut on 2,000 albums a year or something like that, whatever you're selling. So you've got to weigh up your options and look at it that way. But the benefit of both those guys, CD Baby and Reverb Nation, is they'll put your music on all the digital download stores, all the worldwide iTunes stores. They'll put it on Amazon. They'll put your album on Spotify, so you can get the revenue streams. It's not much, but it's good for getting your band out there because you will get revenue streams. You will get streams from Spotify, and it's good for getting your band out there, especially if you're a smaller band. Even though you get paid maybe like 0.006 cents per download per stream on Spotify, at least you're getting out there. People are hearing your music, and that's the best way for it. Then you might get into your shows. You might get to buy a T-shirt or something like that. So, Reverb Nation's CD Baby. Look at your options between the two. Just read the frequently asked questions pages, and that should answer everything you need to know on there. I've looked into them a fair bit, so if you want to contact me, then I'm happy to talk to you about it as well too. But yeah, that's pretty much. There's lots of other places like TuneCore and stuff. Is another big one, but I haven't really done too much with them. I didn't really like how it was set up. I heard a few bad things about them as well too, but nothing against them. I don't know enough about them, so do your own research on it and check out a few different ones. But my personal pick right now, where I'm at, is CD Baby. Obviously that could change in a couple of years or whatnot, but for right now, from all the research I've done, CD Baby is my preferable one. Bandcamp is a really cool place though. I recommend you have a Bandcamp regardless of everything else, because you get more revenue, and you can, say for example you have a website or a Facebook page, you should send them directly to Bandcamp instead of iTunes or whatnot, because you get more revenue back. You can also control how it's sold. Also, actually, a very good point, if you've got an EP or an album that's coming out soon, Bandcamp will actually let you do a thing where, I can't remember what it's called, but basically if they pre-order your EP or your album, then you can actually give them a free track off that album, or a couple of free tracks from that album. So you give them a reward for pre-ordering your album. It's a really, really cool way of getting people to pre-order, because that way, as soon as the date of your album gets dropped, then all these downloads come flooding through, and it actually looks good on your iTunes charts and music charts and whatnot, because all that stuff happens on the one day that it's launched. And it's just good for hype as well too. You say, get this free track early. Not free track because I have to pre-order the album. Get this track early by pre-ordering our album. It's a really cool way to build up hype as well too. CD Baby will do that as long as I think you have more than 11 songs on the album. They'll let you do I think it's called a gratitude track. I think it's called. They'll let you do that. Reverb Nation, to the best of my knowledge, still doesn't do that. TuneCore, I think, does do that. That was one of the reasons why I wanted to go with them, but there was a couple of cons that I found that I didn't really agree with, so I didn't eventually go with them. But yeah, those gratitude tracks are a great way of building up hype and selling music. So I think you have to have a Bandcamp regardless of everything else. I think that's just a great way to have all your music in one place, and you can send people there and you get the most amount of revenue from it, because they only take 15%. But also have a look at CD Baby and Reverb Nation. That way you'll get around to the worldwide market, all the iTunes places, all the iTunes stores worldwide, including like America and Australia and Europe and all that, and also on Spotify and Amazon Music, and like tons of other ones you've probably never even heard of, but just places that sell digital music and where people can get music. So yeah, I think that pretty much covers it for how to sell your music online. Now, there will be more parts to this series. I'm going to do a bunch of different videos on just helping out, bands and musicians in general, for not only selling music, but also where to get their merchandise, how to make their merchandise, tips for that sort of stuff, gigging, and also and how to have website tips and all that sort of stuff. So if you have any ideas or any questions, or any things you'd like to see in this series, then let us know in the comments, and we'll be sure to make a video out of it. But until then, have a good one, guys. Cheers.